Now more on Donald Trump telling Sean Hannity on Fox News that he's open to softening his immigration plan just one day after insisting he was not flip-flopping on the immigration issue. Sarah Huckabee Sanders is a senior advisor to the Trump campaign and is live with us this afternoon. Thank you. How are you?
I'm doing great. Good afternoon, Chip.
Hey, the new line is that we want to be fair but firm. It is fair to leave which undocumented immigrants in the country?
Look, Donald Trump's been extremely consistent and extremely clear about his #1 priority when it comes to immigration, and that's to secure the border and enforce the law. Nothing about that policy or that position has changed whatsoever.
Oh, Sarah,
he's going to continue pushing and advocating from that.
We have to pull up the sound bites, I guess, because what he said was that he would have a deportation force and that he would remove all of them from the nation because they have to go. They're criminals and they must leave the country. Is that still his policy?
I think he certainly wants to get rid of the criminals that are in this country. I think every American would like to see that happen. But again, the biggest priority that Donald Trump has had and the #1 guiding policies he has had on immigration has been to secure the border. He hasn't changed on that. He's been very clear and very consistent on that. If we want to talk about unclear and inconsistent, let's talk about Hillary Clinton, who can't get a clear answer and frankly hasn't given any answer on the pay-to-play scandal that's been plaguing her for weeks. She's been hiding from the media.
Here's what he said.
When Mexico sends its people, they're not sending their best. They're not sending you.
They came in legally, and that's fine. But when they come in illegally, that's a whole different story. They're here illegally. You take them, they have to go back.
You're going to have a deportation force. And by the way, I know
force. He said that to Mika and Joe on Morning Joe. It was the talk of the day. Moderates, who they were trying to court at the time, were very much against it. Anybody who understood the Constitution realized you can't do it, and now they seem to be capitulating as they try to reach people in North Carolina and other states. How do you feel about the change in position?
Look, Chip, you're from the South, so I know you'll understand this. One of the things that we say down here is that you have to plug the leak before you clean up the water. That's exactly what Donald Trump wants to do and plans to do, is you go in, you stop the leak, and then you clean up the water first. And you have to do it in that order in order to make something work. He's been very clear. That hasn't changed. And I think that when you put that in contrast with where Hillary Clinton is on this campaign, she wants completely open borders.
No, she doesn't.
Donald Trump wants
never said I want open borders. She said she wants a fair. I mean, I hear his supporters say that all the time, and it's not true because I've read her policy. They want to have a fair border policy. They want to control the borders. They want to control immigration, but they don't want to round up families all across the nation, and apparently neither does the Donald Trump campaign. Kellyanne said as much. Donald Trump said as much last night, and I just wonder how concerned you are about the base that has wanted that from the beginning and whether they might go, maybe he's not one of us after all.
Look, I think what the base wants and what all of Americans want are for us to enforce the law. But I also think that they want to get rid of the criminals, not necessarily. I've always been a believer that you don't punish kids for the crimes of parents. But Shep, I think you know what we're talking about here, and that's violent criminals and violent offenders. Those people should not be here. But at the end of the day, the biggest question is, are we going to secure our border, know who these people are, enforce the laws that we have on the books? And that's something that we haven't done under Obama and Clinton administration. And I don't know why we would have any confidence moving forward that Clinton would do that if she became president. She hasn't been helpful in this process yet.
He said he wants to do what Obama and Bush before him have been doing. Obama has been dubbed the deporter-in-chief after deporting more than 2.5 million people in all. And Donald Trump has said we want to enforce the laws. Well, the law suggests that 11 million to 18 million people who are here should be gone. It's what he ran on from the beginning. And my question is a simple one. Since that was his policy, since that was the thing on which he ran from the beginning, how many people are going to be turned off by him by this? Or is it more important that so many people who were in the middle and didn't believe this should happen will come to him now when he needs them?
Look, I think Donald Trump is going to beat Hillary Clinton, and I think it's going to be on two big issues, national security and the economy. I think that's the biggest issue that people are going to go to the ballot box focused on in November. And when you ask voters who they trust more on those two issues, every single time Donald Trump beats out Hillary Clinton, those are also the two biggest issues that people are voting on. I think that's the contrast that's going to help Donald Trump defeat Hillary Clinton, and I think those are the biggest issues that people want to be talking about today.
Sarah Huckabee Sanders is a senior advisor to the Trump campaign live in Little Rock, Arkansas. It's nice to see you. Thank you.
Good to see you, Shep.